Once upon a time, a poor young farmer gave his only treasure to a frog, and that single act changed his life forever. What began as a test became a miracle that no one in the village ever forgot. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, so you never miss our next magical African story. Because this tale will remind you, true love doesn't always wear a crown. Sometimes it hops out of a pond. Deep in the heart of Ebun Valley, where soft winds carried the scent of ripe plantain and the earth glowed red beneath the sun, lived a widow named Mama Ralia and her 3 sons. Life in the valley was peaceful, wrapped in the hum of insects and the slow rhythm of farming seasons. Though Mama Ralia's family wasn't rich with gold or cattle, they were rich in the things that truly mattered: good soil, strong hands, and hearts that had learned to bend but never break. Her barn was full every harvest. Her goats were always fat, their milk thick and sweet. And whenever the neighbors lacked food, Mama Ralia's kitchen became the first doorway they knocked on. Her sons were grown now, young men with calloused hands and dreams larger than the hills that lined the valley. The eldest, Duro, bold and confident. The second, Farah, handsome with silver-tongued charm. And the youngest, Kani, gentle as evening rain, quiet as the shadows that follow sunset. One afternoon after work, the 3 sons sat with Mama Ralia beneath their old mango tree, a giant whose shade held decades of memories. The wind was soft, the sun mellow, the air peaceful. Then Duro cleared his throat. "Mama," he said, "we are no longer boys. It's time we marry." Mama Ralia looked at them with a long, thoughtful smile. "Marriage is good," she said softly, "but a good wife is not only beautiful, she must be diligent, patient, wise." She stood, went inside, and returned holding 3 skeins of flax, fine, shiny, soft as river silk. She placed one in each son's hand. "Give this flax to the girl you want to marry. Tell her to spin it into linen. Bring the cloth to me. The one who weaves the finest linen shall become my favorite daughter-in-law." Duro and Farah exchanged proud grins. They already had sweethearts waiting. They tucked their flax confidently under their arms. But Kani remained still, his flax resting on his palm like a burden too heavy. For he had no sweetheart. No girl had ever looked twice at the quiet boy who preferred the company of goats and shadows to the noise of gatherings. That evening, as laughter filled the house, only Kani felt the weight of loneliness pressing against his chest. He walked through the village, asking politely, humbly, shyly, but the girls he approached laughed softly and shook their heads. "Ah, Kani," one teased, "go and choose a bride first before bringing flax." Another giggled, "Maybe come back when you have charm like your brothers." Kani's heart shrank, and so he walked beyond the farmlands, down a dusty path lined with tall elephant grass, until he reached the quiet pond at the edge of the valley, a place he often visited when the world felt too loud. There, he sat on the sandy bank and began to cry, quietly, tears dropping into the still water. Then, suddenly, plop! A frog leaped from the pond, small, green, bright-eyed. And then, to Kani's shock, it spoke. "Why do you cry, young man?" Kani wiped his eyes. "My mother told us to find wives who can spin flax. My brothers have girls. I have none." The frog blinked slowly. "If that is all, give me the flax." Kani stared. "You? But you're a frog." The frog gave a tiny smile. "Trust me." Kani hesitated, then handed the flax over. The frog caught it in her wet hands and slipped beneath the surface. The pond grew still again. Kani sat there, heart trembling with both fear and hope. Could a frog truly spin flax? He didn't know. But he walked home with a strange calm inside him. Weeks passed, and soon it was time for the 3 sons to present their cloth. Duro returned with thick linen, strong and rough but durable. Farah brought his own cloth, soft, smooth, with a faint silver shine. Mama Ralia nodded, "Good work." But when she turned to Kani, he bowed his head. "I have nothing." His brothers burst into loud laughter. Maybe he asked a goat to spin it, or perhaps a tree. Kani whispered, "I gave it to a frog." Silence. Then more laughter, louder this time. Mama Ralia lifted her hand. "Enough. Go to your frog. Bring whatever she has." Kani hurried to the pond. "Little frog, please come." Plop. The frog emerged holding a leaf-wrapped bundle. "Here is your linen." Kani opened it and gasped. The cloth was white as moonlight, soft as breath, woven so finely it looked like light trapped inside fabric. He ran home. Mama Ralia touched the cloth and whispered, "This is work from the spirits." His brothers grew quiet. But Mama Ralia wasn't done. There is another test. She brought out 3 puppies, small, soft, their eyes bright. "Give one to your chosen bride. Let her raise it well. The dog that grows the best will show whose wife is most capable." Duro and Farah grinned. But again, Kani's heart deflated. With trembling hands, he carried his puppy to the pond. "Little frog, what will I do?" Plop. "Give me the puppy," said the frog. "I will raise it." "But you're a frog." She smiled. "Life is life. Trust me." She took the puppy and disappeared underwater. Kani sat staring at the ripples long after they faded. When the time came to judge the dogs, Duro and Farah brought back huge mastiffs, muscular, fierce, with jaws that could crush bone. Mama Ralia stepped back nervously. Kani approached, holding a tiny white dog that walked gently beside him, tail wagging. Duro and Farah burst into laughter. "That looks like a rat. Maybe your frog ate the dog and gave you this toy." Mama Ralia ignored them. "Let us see." Duro whistled. His giant dog barked wildly, knocking over a stool. Farah's dog growled and rolled in the dust. Mama Ralia frowned. Kani knelt. Sit. The small dog sat. Turn. It twirled gracefully. Greet. The dog bowed. Mama Ralia burst into laughter, scooping it up. "This is the most well-trained dog I've ever seen." Even Duro and Farah could not argue. Mama Ralia folded her arms. One final test. She handed each son a piece of cloth. "Let your brides sew a shirt. The neatest work will show me the most skilled woman." Duro and Farah ran off excitedly. Kani returned to the pond. Plop. "Give me the cloth," said the frog. "Return when the moon is full." Kani smiled gently now. He trusted her. The moon turned full. Duro's shirt was strong and neat. Farah's shirt was soft with delicate embroidery. Mama Ralia nodded. Kani stepped forward with nothing in his hands. "Give me a moment," he said. He ran to the pond. "Little frog, please." Plop! The frog handed him a leaf-wrapped bundle. "Do not open it until you stand before her." Kani ran home. He opened it before everyone. Guests filled the air. The shirt inside glowed like morning light, soft, cloud-white fabric, tiny blue ripples embroidered around the collar so fine they looked painted by a spirit. Mama Ralia stood slowly. This is the work of destiny. She placed her hand on Kani's shoulder. Bring your bride. It is time for the wedding. But Kani's heart sank. My bride lives in the pond. That night, he could not sleep. At dawn, he returned to the pond. Little frog, my mother says to bring you home, but how can I? You are a frog. The frog stared at him. Do you truly want me? Kani swallowed. I cannot reject you, but I do not know if I can take you. The frog nodded, eyes shad, and disappeared beneath the water. Kani felt something inside him break. But then, he heard tiny hooves behind him. He turned. A small chariot stood there, pulled by two miniature ponies, and the frog sat atop it, wearing a little green cloak like a queen in waiting. Come, she said softly. Kani stepped inside. He did not know his world was about to shatter and rebuild itself. The chariot glided through the forest path. Birds scattered, leaves whispered, sunlight dripped through branches like gold dust. Then they met three women walking together, one blind, one hunchbacked, one unable to speak because of a thorn in her throat. They burst into laughter at the sight of a young man riding with a frog princess. Their laughter grew and grew until suddenly the blind woman gasped, I can see! The hunchback stood straight. The mute woman spit out the thorn and spoke clearly. They bowed in gratitude. Then the first witch lifted a glowing wand. Little frog, accept my gift. A brilliant light. The frog faded, transformed. In her place stood a breathtaking young woman, taller than Kani had expected, skin smooth and warm, eyes bright as river moonlight, hair long and black like flowing night. Kani stumbled backward, breath stolen. She smiled. Yes, it was always me. The second witch touched the ponies and chariot. They transformed into a grand golden carriage pulled by proud golden horses. The third witch handed the woman a glowing purse. It will never be empty. Then the women vanished into mist. Kani stared at her, no, at his destiny, unable to speak. She took his hand gently. Your kindness freed me. They rode toward home, this time not in silence, but in awe. When the golden carriage rolled into the village, people screamed in shock. Is that not Kamini? How did he find such a bride? What magic is this? Even Duro and Farah stumbled outside, eyes wide with jealousy. Leora stepped out gracefully, her gown shimmering like dew-lit forest leaves. Mama Ralia covered her mouth in awe. This is the one who did all those wonders? Kamini nodded proudly. Leora knelt and bowed. Mama, I greet you. Tears filled Mama Ralia's eyes. My daughter, welcome. The wedding feast lasted until dawn. Drums thundered, people danced, stories flew like birds through the air. But Duro and Farah's brides could not look Leora in the face. Her presence dimmed every beauty in the valley. The magic purse never ran dry. Leora's kindness drew travelers from afar. The home became a place of joy, generosity, and peace. But envy crept into Duro and Farah's hearts. How can he live better than us? Maybe he uses charms. They spied on the couple at night, hoping to catch them doing witchcraft. But all they saw was Leora praying softly, blessing the home, blessing even the brothers who wished them harm. Shame washed over them. The next morning, Mama Ralia called her sons. You looked for beauty and wealth. Kani looked for goodness, and goodness brings its own crown. The brothers bowed their heads. From that day, they treated Leora with honor, and peace returned to the family. As the years passed, the tale of the frog maiden of Ebun Valley traveled far beyond the hills and rivers. Children begged to hear it. Elders repeated it with pride. Travelers carried it to distant lands. And every time someone asked how such a miracle began, the answer was always simple. It began with a boy who chose kindness over pride, and a frog who was more than she seemed. Their home remained a sanctuary of love, peace, and endless blessing. For good hearts, like rivers, start small, but they always find their way to greatness. If this story touched your heart, don't leave quietly. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tap the bell. Choose all so you never miss another life-changing folktale. Remember, greatness begins with small acts of kindness, and your next miracle might be hiding in a place you least expect.